What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another video, and today we're going to talk about my slight little game room setup. Um, Before we get into that, I want to thank you guys for checking out the First and Frame Rates podcast, episode 50. It was a live stream Q&A. Thanks if you checked it out. Thanks if you came through. And there's more of that to where that came from. We definitely appreciate it. Now, let's get into this quick video. I'm trying to keep it as quick as possible, and we're going to talk about how I game in my game room. Now, here you see this is my original Xbox collection. I have a lot of original Xbox games. At the bottom of this, I have some PS2 games, some PS1 games, my Xbox One games, and that's what I have over here. Now behind me, I have my PS4, I have my 360, my PS3, my Sega Genesis, all my other stuff are behind me, but it's so much of a mess. I really don't want to show that right now because this still is a work in progress. But I got the part where my game is set up, where I sit on the couch and game and where I chill at. I got that set up, but I want to show you how I got it. Now down here, these are some of my box games, some of the games I like to play from time to time, but I don't want to take them out of their collective boxes, so I leave those down there as well. And yeah, I just leave them where they are. And right here is a couple more boxes that I have. Pretty much some consoles that I have classic editions, the Retron HD. I don't have that anymore, but I still have the box, and the Nintendo AVS. One day I'll make a video about that. Now over here is my HD TV, and as you can see, I have my computer hooked up to this, and I have iTunes running. Now, with that being said, I know I've been doing a series on why should you get a gaming PC. Now, part 3 is going to talk about gaming on a regular television from the couch. You don't have to be all over a desk trying to play on a small monitor. So I'm going to make that video very soon. So this is somewhat of a preview of that. Now down here I have some of my consoles. I have a Dreamcast, I have 2 Sega Saturns, an N64, and my Sega Genesis. Now all of these are hooked up through my OSSC, which is a little device that you see right here. This little device right here. That's my OSSC, and it's an upscaler, so all these older games can run on this TV. They can run without it, but they'll look like trash. One day we'll talk about that. Next to this is my CRT, which I want to make a correction. My Nintendo 64 is not hooked up to that device. It is actually hooked up to this huge CRT television, and I know you can probably see me in the little light up there. I don't like too much light up here, so that's why it looks like that. But basically, this is the TV where I play like a lot of retro stuff when I want to play lag free. Now, when you put these old games on a HD TV, there's lag, but on the CRT, there's none. So I'll keep that choice open, and they're right by each other. Now, below this, I have my PlayStation 3, which is over this switcher. I have another PlayStation 3, and I have my Xbox 360 with the Death Smiles faceplate, and I have my Xbox One. Now all of these are also hooked up to the HD TV that we previously saw, and I have those hooked up through the switcher where you see what the green lights are. Now below that, I have my Wii U, I have my Nintendo AVS that I talked about earlier, and my Super Nintendo. I have my original Wii and a GameCube. Now all of these are also, well, I'm not going to say all of them, but pretty much all of these are hooked up to the HD TV except for the GameCube. The GameCube is hooked up to the big CRT TV, or CRT. And I pretty much keep everything in front of me. So like as of right now, you can tell like I'm sitting on the couch right now, and I have everything in front of me, so I don't have to do anything as far as trying to move this around. I just have it set up like this, and most of the stuff that's ran through component cables is ran through that switcher that's above the old PS3 with the red dot. That's a component switch. My component cables are switched, go through there, and that is also being directed to the HD TV that we saw earlier. Now, past that, I do have a lot of cables that I try to hide, which is right where the Sega Saturn arcade stick box. I have a lot of cables that's all over the place. I haven't had a place to actually do great cable management where I can hide that stuff. So when I'm sitting on the couch and I'm playing the game, I don't want to be seeing them. It's kind of annoying. So I just my Sega Saturn box is right there. Now also, speaking of another box, I have my my Xbox, original Xbox box up there. I know that sounds crazy. That's up there as well. I like to put that up there to show off what I have. And there's my PlayStation 2. And that's hooked up to this big TV as well. Now my PS4 Pro is right here. Now my PS4 Pro is hooked up to the HD TV that we saw earlier. That, you know, I just have that right there just for the time being. I'm planning on moving the Pro, but I low-key kind of like it where it is as well. So I don't know. You know, it's just one of the things that you deal with when you have a setup like this. You don't know where everything goes. You're constantly moving things around. Now, this other HD TV right here, I use this mostly just to like watch TV while I'm playing or whatever the case may be. Like if a sports game is on, whatever the case may be, I will have this playing while I'm playing my other games. Now, also, this TV is really good for my classic consoles like the minis, the classic minis. And also, I have my original Xboxes down here. Now, one of these original Xboxes are for my regular Xbox games, and the other one is like an emulator box. I have like a whole bunch of games on the other Xbox. And one is hooked up to the big HD TV that you see right there. And the other Xbox is hooked up to the big CRT. Now sometimes I change them, depends. But to get the arcade feel of the some of the games that are on there, I usually play them through the CRT. So it'll give you that authentic look like you had when you were playing at the arcade. Now, I also have another Dreamcast. Now, this Dreamcast over here, which is on right now, I have this hooked up to an old CRT monitor. Now, if you don't know anything about the Dreamcast, this Dreamcast, the Dreamcast in general, was built to be played on a CRT monitor through VGA. And I know, you know, I had a family member who had one of these old monitors, and I was like, let me get that because I want to see what it's all about. Now, we talk about, I know there's a lot of people talk about retro games and upscalers and all that, but to play a Dreamcast on this old monitor like this is nothing like it. It is a fantastic looking image when you play on this type of setup. So, like I said, from this couch, I play everything from here, and I have it, you know, everything streamlined to one place or another. Now, last but not least, over here in the corner, that's my PC over there, and that's where my computer desk, basically where I have my setup to do the podcast, and that's what I do. That's where I do all the other stuff as far as editing videos or whatever the case may be, and just, you know, if I want to game with a mouse and keyboard. So this is my setup, man. I don't know what you guys think. It's nothing fancy, it's nothing flashy, ain't nothing, you know, crazy or anything like that. It's simple. You know, it's something that you know, that I'm comfortable with. You know, I have all my games right here and everything set up. I will be making more adjustments to it as it goes, especially with my son on the way. My son's on the way. He's going to be all on the ground once he gets here, and I don't want him to be all up into this into all this mess that's in front of me. So let me know what you guys think, man. I mean, I like my little setup, and let me know if you have one yourself or whatever the case may be. And I hope you guys stick around for the next podcast that will be on Wednesday, and that's where we'll talk about these playoff games or whatever the case may be, and anything else that's around. I hope you guys take care. Peace.